All are well, and greetings from Scotland. Now, I'm back here at the majestic Falls of Clyde, which you will be able to see behind me. And there's a fair bit of water going through it today, but I'm not really here to see them. On my last trip, I mentioned the Wallace cave, and when I got home, done a wee bit of thinking and decided to come and find it. Now, there's not a lot of written accounts of exactly where it is on the internet. There's certainly no signposts here, which could make things difficult, but there is a map. It's not very detailed, on the website Canmore, which covers historical sites, and that map gives you a rough indication of where it is. And we've got to go and try and find it. So wish us luck. Now, in my first videos on the Falls of Clyde, I made a wee error which I want to correct. When I was standing roughly in this location, I made a comment regarding where the Wallace cave is, which was wrong. I had said that I believed that it was down there. Now, I've since done a wee bit of research and found that it wasn't actually below the falls of Coralin, which we're standing above just now. It's actually just up and round the corner from, and that's where we're going to go and look for them today. So we'll just head along the path. I'll meet you a wee bit further along. Now, when you get to this point on the path, you're just above the Coralin Falls, and there's a wee viewing point just a few yards down the path from me, back the way. Now, if you look across, you can just make out there, that's the old Lanark Castle, and that's one of the landmarks on the map that I was looking at on Canmore. There's a wee dogleg right hand bend on the Clyde just above the castle, and that's that down there. And roughly at that point, the path that you're on when you're on the north side of the Clyde goes away from the route of the Clyde for a spell. And this is what we're doing here. There's roughly a kind of triangular point on your right hand side of land. Now, we're just coming into some pine trees here, and just along here we should be coming back to the closest point that the path comes to the water, basically overlooking it again. And it was roughly about that point that the cave should be. So there's no signposts, so what we've got to be doing is we've got to be looking for other indications, looking for tracks of people that are moving off the main track. Now, here's one here. Now we're roughly about, say, 25-30 yards in from the edge of the fir trees. Now that's a wee landmarker if you're coming yourself, and that's if this route here proves to be the proper one. We'll just follow it down. Now this is actually looking promising. The path winds down through here, so I'll just head down. Try not to fall. Try not to get footage of me breaking my neck on GoPro. Now the path kind of wise here. There's one there that goes to the edge. There's another one that's going down there and going to the edge. I'll take this one. Just watch if you're coming down here, it's quite slidey. Now the path lies here again. Now that's going to the edge there, so we'll go and see if we can have a wee look. I don't think that will be hit. That's going back up a level. Ground under feet feels really hollow. Not a good sign when you're standing over a cliff. Now, here's a path going down here. That looks really promising, so go and see if we can find a way down. Now, should be on this line here. A few people come over that over the years. Now this looks as if it could be hit. Yeah. Quite a dodgy bit here. A wee jump in order. Done it. Just watch the rocks if you're coming down here. They're pretty wet and covered in moss. Now this is looking really promising. The steep cliffs on either side. Really inaccessible. Here's another dodgy bit. I think I can see it. Yeah, that looks like it's it. I'll just turn you around. See right there. Well, there are no signs and not a lot of written evidence of where it is. Certainly managed it in one go, which isn't too bad. it's definitely it. Just got to take you in and have a wee look round. That there, folks, is the Wallace Cave. Please excuse the graffiti. I don't know who the rockers are, but apparently they rule. It's quite a roomy cave inside. The floor's a wee bit damp, but we've had a wee bit of heavy rain. Someone been burning a candle. Same up there. Some carved graffiti on the walls. Some of it looks quite old. But 1876. There's a lot from the 1900s, 1980s, 1990s, 1928. Quite an impressive cave. Nice wee view outside as well. The water's really forcing through. So this is where the famous man hid out. I'm just sitting here on a wee rock ledge at the mouth of the Wallace Cave, just taking in the wonderful view of the cliffs opposite me, the moss covered rocks, and the sound of the Clyde as it roars past me on its way downstream. And as I'm sitting here enjoying the atmosphere, I'm just thinking back on the history that surrounds this cave and links it to the great man William Wallace, the great Scottish patriot himself. And just the thought that where I'm sitting just now, in the view that I'm looking at, that the great man may have once sat exactly where I'm sitting just now and look over the same landscape. I'm just going to cover briefly the history surrounding this in Wallace. It takes us back to May 1297, and Wallace had attacked the castle in Lanark, which was under control of the English and the English Sheriff, William Wallace. Wallace attacks the castle with a small band of men. He kills the Sheriff and the garrison. That is believed to be the very first act of resistance for William Wallace against the English. So in effect, they were the opening sword blows of Wallace's campaign to free Scotland from English rule. And after he had attacked the castle, killed the sheriff and the garrison, he was then obviously a wanted man and had to go on the run. And it's believed that he came to this very cave and hid out until it was safe to leave, and he possibly moved south into the forests of the borders. But there's a lot of history to cover, far too much to cover in one video. It'd certainly be far too long to watch anyway. So for that reason, I'm going to come back and I'm going to do a more detailed look at the cave itself and its links to Wallace. Today was basically just a video to show people how to find it and how to come here, and I do encourage them to come here, but I do so with words of caution. There's a reason that it's not listed as an official tourist attraction, and that is because of the dangers involved in getting down here. There's no signposts and there's very little details on how to find it. In my video I showed you how to find it, but if you do choose to come here and take in the great atmosphere and the history, do so with a friend or friends. Tell people where you're going and take care. But enough of that, that's just my wee disclaimer. Now, like I said, I'm going to do a more detailed view of the history of the cave and Wallace and the links between the two of them. I'm going to do a video or videos on the history of Lanark and its association with Wallace. Lanark has got the chapel where Wallace married his wife, Marion Braidfoot. That chapel still stands, although in ruins, but it still stands. We'll go there, have a wee look round about and look at the history. It has also got the location of the townhouse that Wallace stayed in with his wife. There's just a wee plaque there which tells you the history and that you're on the location of the house. We'll go there. That's literally a stone's throw, and I mean a stone's throw, from the church which holds the Wallace monument. It's right in the centre of Lanark and a beautiful monument. Always loved, as I was driving down the hill leaving Lanark, you would see the great man himself immortalised in stone in front of you. It's a sight that fills a Scot with pride inside. Just further downhill from the church with Wallace's monument and the location of the house where he stayed is the site of the castle where he attacked and killed the sheriff and the garrison. A beautiful area. We'll go a wee walk round that as well. But like I said, that'll probably be too much for one video. It'll probably be a couple of videos. And I'm just looking at a wee bit of graffiti on the edge of the doorway. I'll just turn it round and I'll show you. Freedom, WW. Now I believe WW is probably William Wallace, but freedom is certainly a sentiment that I agree with, and it was definitely one that William Wallace agreed with. But I hope he's enjoyed that, and like I said, I do promise to get some more detailed stuff up in future. So if you like that, please hit the like button. Also subscribe to be kept up to date with future productions, and also future productions around William Wallace himself. I also intend to do a lot more on Wallace, Bruce, the Black Douglas, Angus Og, all the great figures in Scottish history. So until then, stay safe and slange.